Letsema.
The Tswana Sotho word Letsema
directly translates to voluntarily working together.
It is about a group of people coming together
To work towards a common goal.
While reflecting on our time as multimedia production students, re bone gore hai man, go na le matsapa. Some students had never used a professional camera before, but sena any knowledge of the editing software that we were using pele ga ba join our course. And we realized that there were hidden costs that came with completing this course. This led us to wonder, ke bana ba bakae who could relate, and how has this influenced their progress in university? Turns out, this question is older than we are and is explored under the theory of social capital. This is about the perks of being connected to a network, jaaka dichomi, di colleague, kgotsa family ya gago. Bigger networks that are made up of more resourceful people, di go naya more social capital than smaller, less resourceful networks. For our research, we decided to include the rest of the screen and multimedia production class by creating a survey that they could respond to. This way, we were able to get most of the class's unfiltered anonymous opinions about their experience with the course. The results are in and the numbers don't lie. Our survey mainly shows that the course does not adequately consider different skill and financial levels, which mostly disadvantages students of color who were the biggest victims of the digital divide and poverty. Sanka, give the unforeseen costs that come with partaking in the course. For some assignments, buying props or traveling to specific locations led to extra expenses. Around 63% of students said they could only cover these costs sometimes. Only 19% of students said they could easily afford to cover hidden costs, and an equal amount were unable to cover these costs at all. Just 19% of students said they had full access to gear they needed outside of school. So, 81% of students are reliant on the gear provided by the university. The lack of proper equipment like personal laptops that can run editing software means that unlike their peers, these students moet by a campus to access certain software. They also end up spending meer tyd by ituta die tools during assignments rather than focusing on the task itself, thus affecting their performance. The training offered is seen by students as shallow and lacking in depth to truly prepare them for the industry.
To some extent, but not enough. In multimedia specifically, we work with a broad range of equipment and mediums, and training is often quite rushed.
Two production students were willing to speak to us on camera about their learning experience.
Most of my challenges have probably come with access to the industry, because as a student, it's very difficult to find the people who are willing to give you space to mess up and space to learn.
Nakanaela. When asked about using the equipment for the very first time in their courses, only 13% of students felt confident enough to handle the equipment comfortably.
I had a lot of access before university. I was extremely fortunate because my older brother is a photographer. He's actually a wildlife photographer, so cameras were always a part of my life, always a part of my story. And then I, in high school, saved up and bought myself my first ever little camera. It's my child. This is my child. This is my baby. It is a Canon little camcorder. I found it in like a secondhand camera shop, and with this camera I also realized that I love videography, and I think visuals are such an important way to convey people's stories and messages and things.
As one response states,
I believe the department operates from a place of believing that the students have a certain level of experience and does not teach at a beginner's level.
So in December of 2022, my mom bought me a camera, which was so exciting. And I was in house comm in the following year, and so it was really nice because I was doing IT media and branding, and I was like, I've got a nice camera, let me take pictures of the house, and I did all of that. But then I was like, as much as I'm taking pictures, I need to learn the video aspect of it too. And so I was like, why don't I just do content creation? And so I started a YouTube channel, and it was nice because I started editing on my laptop as well instead of on my phone, and so that was my way of trying to get used to working with softwares and stuff like that, and that's how I got into screen production, I guess, because I was putting in the work. I was trying to learn things to build my portfolio, if that makes sense. And yeah, so my little camera was something that started something nice, I guess. And yeah, I love that little baby. It has a very special place in my heart. And it's not the best thing in the world, but look where it got me, you know? So yeah.
Many believe that a restructuring of the production courses with more hands-on practice and easier and more frequent access to equipment would help all students keep up and bridge the skill gaps.
It would really be nice for the department to actually split the two. Like, let us do theory for the year and a half, and then let's just do practical for the other year and a half, those that are doing 3 years. And I think that would help a lot, because then you just know that, okay, you're only focusing on screen production, you're only focusing on your theory, and the two don't collide.
Students express gratitude for the availability of professional equipment and general assistance.
I think that the UCT TV studio does a wonderful job for the equipment, and if you need additional support, they're always welcome and encourage that.
Nog steeds, the survey shows that there are mixed feelings about the level of support provided by the film and media department. Some think genoeg, maar meeste barry there is much room for improvement, particularly concerning networking and mentorship. When you're pursuing a career in the film and media industry, who you know can be just as important as what you know. This is where the practice of Letsema, which promotes volunteerism and collaboration, is beneficial to all. Ke entlike ka ga botho, kopano, go thusana, go agana, ke ka ga lorato.
Well, my class is we're a special group. Like, we're all just really close. Like, if you mess with one of them, you're messing with me too. Like, I love them so much. And I feel like we had to establish that ourselves, you know. That wasn't established by the department or by the screen production lecturers or something like that. So it would be really nice if they could foster environments where, you know, we can actually be connected with each other and not have to think about it ourselves and be like, oh, actually, let's love one another, you know. I was telling my friends that, like, I knew nothing about film, and I was hoping that by the time I leave this, I would know a lot, but I don't. And so how I've managed to learn enough was through my peers and realizing that, like, these people are actually quite talented. How do you do this? How do you do that? You know, and because of the relationship that we've built in the class, everyone's like willing to help you, you know? Everyone's like, oh, Wanda, I see you struggling with this. Let's do that, you know what I mean? So because of the relationship that we've built as a class, I feel like it's been easy to gain knowledge from other people, because everyone's just so open and willing to help. So
yeah, I think community is literally one of the pillars of life. I think it's how you create beautiful projects. You can't do it by yourself. You can't do it on your own. You're not meant to be good at everything. Everything is just better as a community. I really don't think human beings were built to do anything alone. I think we are built as a community. We're meant to be interdependent. We're meant to help each other. We're meant to care about each other. We're meant to, you're meant to look around you, open your eyes, look around you, look at the people around you. How can you help them as well?
Yeah.